Okay, we are going to review important concepts from Unit 1. The learning target. I will pronounce the vowels correctly in Spanish. I will use the correct conjugations of verbs with the appropriate subject pronoun. Just to review, you need to be pronouncing every vowel in Spanish. Every vowel only has one sound. Spanish is phonetic. It sounds how it looks. This makes it easier to pronounce than English. English is not always phonetic. Things do not always sound how they look, such as the word light. English vowels often have more than one sound, right? A. In Spanish, they only have one sound, so I want you to practice this pronunciation. If you can pronounce the vowels, you can pronounce Spanish pretty well. A, E, O, U. Again, A, E, O, U. That's the sound it always makes. So one more time. A, E, O, U. If you can do that, you can pronounce Spanish. Remember that U is kind of like a double O. It's not a U, it's a U. Okay, I learned to speak Spanish in Argentina where they speak with a Castellano accent. So the Y and the double L makes a sh sound. So I would say show, me llamo, or Asia. Okay, just a heads up because sometimes that comes out. The other way to pronounce it would be like a Y sound. Yo, me llamo, or ella. Either one is correct. Okay, let's make sure we review our subject pronouns, making sure we understand what this chart is in Spanish. All verbs are organized like this, so we need to make sure you really are familiar with this and understand it. So we have our subject pronouns here. We have yo, tú, él, ella, usted, and like it would fall in this category, such as like the car, the cat, the dog, the door, something, some item like that would go in that category. Nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So I want you to be very familiar with this word conjugation. You're going to hear it all the time in Spanish. This is what we do. We conjugate the verbs. You need to understand what conjugation is. So conjugation is the changes of the verb depending on who is speaking or acting in the sentence. Depending on that subject pronoun, I, you, we, she, etc. Whoever the person is. So think about it here in English. Okay, we have conjugation in English, we just have much less of it. There's a lot more in Spanish. So for example, the verb to be in English, we have I am, you, we, they, you guys are. So that all shares that one conjugation are. He, she, or it is. Okay, so here are examples of different conjugation depending on the person speaking. You change that verb. Okay, so for the verb to be in Spanish, ser, right? Amar is. This is our conjugation chart. So we have yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted es. Nosotros somos, vosotros sois, ellos, ellas, ustedes son. So let's make sure we understand what this really means. So if we said I am in English, in Spanish you would pronounce that yo soy. We are, nosotros somos. She is, ella es, and so on. Okay, let's identify the differences here between ser and estar. There's two verbs in Spanish that both mean to be. So your learning target is to identify the differences between ser and estar. So here are our verb charts first off. Okay, we just went over the conjugation for ser, so let's go ahead and review the conjugation for estar. We have estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. They both mean to be, but there are different uses. So let's look at our uses here. And for ser, we have permanent conditions. personal traits, physical characteristics, indicate professions, and origin to say where someone's from. So for estar, we use it for location. Anything to do with location is always estar. And then to describe like conditions, like temporary conditions, like how someone feels, like they're sick, they're bored, they're busy, they're happy, they're sad. So really those are the two uses for estars, to describe like a condition, like how someone is feeling, and location. Everything else you're basically going to use ser for. But you can also think of ser as kind of a more permanent thing, like physical traits don't really change, personality traits don't really change, professions don't often change. I mean, they can. It's fine. It's not only permanent stuff, but generally, if you think about it, it's kind of more permanent stuff. Estar is a little bit more temporary for the most part. Origin, where you're from, never changes. Okay, this one's really important, and this is the biggest mistake students make when it comes to this. Always use estar with location. Okay, sometimes they get confused because even if the location is permanent, you're still going to use estar. So don't get confused on that. If it's location, it's estar. So for example, New York City está en Nueva York. New York City is always in New York. It's never going to move. It's never going to change. But you use estar to say location. Okay, let's look at some of these different sentences. Ser versus estar. So yo soy alto, I am tall, versus yo estoy cansado, I am tired. Tú eres estudioso, you're studious, so like a personality trait there, right? Tú estás contento, you're happy, describing how you're feeling right now. La casa es de madero, the house is made of wood. La casa está al lado de la piscina, so the house is next to the pool. Again, using that for location. The house isn't going to move, but it's a location. Somos de Arizona, origin. The school is big, so to describe like a physical characteristic of a building or person or something. Estamos bien, we are good right now, kind of a temporary thing. The city is in Texas. La ciudad está en Texas. So again, location, location, location. Las mochilas están aquí. The backpacks are here. So again, talking about an item's location. Okay, please complete the questions for this activity now.